You're locked into another episode of Jump Off TV UK Behind the Scene. We're going to be talking about whether the bubble has burst for the UK urban music scene. I'm joined by Teeth, Chucky and Snips. Let's get into this debate right now.
So basically, me and Snips was just talking about the urban scene, yeah? Actually, in fact, we was talking about the Tiny Temper record.
Yeah.
Which he said was shit. And we was kind of thinking. And obviously that the urban scene, the bubble, had popped. Elaborate on that.
Alright, basically,
Good intro.
if you noticed last year, they basically signed 1 million rappers and didn't put nobody out. Everybody's failing, like nobody's sales are really hitting what they should be hitting. And I just think that's it. It's popped in it. The major labels were interested for a little while. They thought it was something new to capitalize off. And I think there's a couple of people who can slot into different worlds. So you know what Chucky was saying was right. Was Tiny he can remove himself from the urban scene and go over there with the dance artists. Someone like Professor Green can have more of like an indie appeal. He can go over there and kind of like move to you know, Plan B's kind of audience. And I just think that the average UK rapper that's come through and making quote unquote urban music, bubble's popped in it. It's done.
My thing with this is like, we're going back to this whole sort of, the hype has died down with the whole like rappers in the UK doing their thing or trying to get signed by these majors and shit. Is that was the problem for me, is that motherfuckers tried to jump ship too early in terms of like, it's almost like people were begging labels to sign them. It's almost like, oh, please, people are feeling me, I got a buzz, please sign me. Look, that's not the way to go about it in my fucking opinion. It's 2013. You have the tools or the platforms to be able to kind of like feed and sustain your audience and give them what they want.
How do you turn that into financial gain?
Look,
because we know there's plenty of rappers with X amount of YouTube.
That's what, but it's not even just the YouTube buzz. It's in like, if you've got people that are really die-hard fans for you, it's like that's your tribe. It's almost like you just feed them and just kind of sustain that.
Technically,
because the problem is when you're trying to jump to labels and shit, is like the whole thing now is in like, look, you're a commodity. Like you have to fucking sell. That's the bottom line. If you don't, then you're done. Shouldn't even matter whether the perceived bubble has burst or not, or whether this notion of the buzz of UK rappers getting signed to major labels has dissolved or fizzled out. It shouldn't even fucking matter. You should be an artist, creating your art, trying to make it to the best of your ability, trying to make something innovative, trying to make something cool, and get yourself out there in a new and cool kind of way, man. As in like, forget that major shit, man. As in like, the proof is in the pudding that it's just not it's not the time. Like people that did get signed in the last few years, they just flopped, man, because they didn't have that label, they didn't have that song that the labels wanted, they didn't have that single, you didn't fucking make them dance. You don't need to be fucking trying to like prove shit to these motherfuckers, man. Just make your shit, man, and just do you.
Technically, Teeth, yeah, when you think about it, in terms of the amount of rappers that we had out here, yeah, and the amount that actually got signed, there wasn't really that much of a massive thing going on with bare rappers getting signed and that. Do you know what the problem is? I'll tell you what the problem is, yeah? Us as, well, let's just say like the urban scene, people that follow the urban music, and black people as general, yeah? We celebrate loudly. So when there's one person out there that gets signed, then we start raving and shouting about it, and it makes it look like there's all of these signings happening, when really and truly, that's not even what's happening in the first place.
There was a lot of signings. There was a lot of signings.
It was a lot, though. Even if it was a lot. It was a lot, though.
Look,
who?
There was a considerable...
Could you name 10?
What rappers have got signed last year?
And completely got
you know what, I could, but a lot of them have done fuck all, and
they're gonna tweet him,
and it will jeopardize personal relationships.
I don't think there was a lot.
To be honest, I don't think there was a lot on them. It's a criticism on the industry.
Not even last year, though.
I'm not trying to highlight
like the last 4 years for me. Like the last 4 years.
In the last 4 years, I would say there was more. I would say there was more. There's more than what happened in the 10 years previous to that, but there was nothing. Exactly. So we think that what is being signed is a lot, when really and truly there's a lot more indie bands getting signed.
There was something like 18 young black rappers signed in the UK in 1 year.
What, like to what though? To major labels?
Yes,
no, there wasn't. There's not even much. There's not even much major labels. There's like 4.
Trust me, man.
You'd be surprised at the amount of people.
Maybe independent. Maybe a few independent deals, but it wasn't a lot. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of artists getting signed to publishing. They were getting a lot of publishing deals, but not record deals as such though. In my reflection of things, yeah, we did have a little bubble, and we do have a little bubble in this UK scene over here, but I don't think it is as big as we all think it is. and everybody just got overly gassed when everybody got signed, and well, when a few people got signed here and there and whatnot, and then we start thinking that a million rappers got signed when in actual fact they didn't. Loads of people got publishing signed, but not actual record deals. So with that being said, I just think that yeah, some artists are struggling. It's a tough time right now, but you know, there will still be a few artists that will be fine.
But what about now then? If the bubbles burst, yeah, do we think it's harder for an artist to get signed now, or even for an artist to make a good, sustainable living?
Fuck the hype. Forget what bubble.
I don't think there was that. I don't even think that there was that much. But what we do have is peak. I do think it is a bit peak.
Listen, this is
Maintain your audience, man.
This is why I see that there's a benefit in this, because obviously we're all very aware that the people that sign these artists, yeah, are 50-year-old dudes in suits sitting in offices who have no clue about the culture, don't understand the music, aren't fans of the music, and they just latch onto whatever they can make a quick buck from. So what happens there is you get a lot of untalented people getting signed because they fit the mold of what these labels want to push. So if that's pop,
or it's whack A&Rs.
Yeah, and it's like if you look
there's
at
a lot of young
rappers,
A&Rs out there, by the way.
No, there is a few. Shout to Ben Scars, obviously.
No, I'm not saying him. I'm saying
but
in
real
general.
talk, shout to Ben Scars, because he is one of the few that does his job properly.
They are shedding the skin of some of these like old dudes. Yeah, and there are some younger dudes coming through, but they don't know what they're doing as well as the older guys.
So then, who's to blame? Is it the record label? Is it the A&R? Is it the artist?
No, do you know what it is?
Who's to blame?
So my point is this: is that a lot of artists think they can get in the game and make a quick buck because there's opportunity for them to get signed by these clueless people that are doing the signings. Now, the benefit now is if that's popped, what happens now is the only people that really come through are the artists that have a genuine love for the music and the culture and actually put their heart and soul into it, because they're going to make their music regardless. Half these people that are making music are making the music because they think it's an easy way to make money. So for me personally, if this industry bubble's popped, yeah, you're going to have a scene basically flatline and start back from the ground up, and you're going to only have people that are in that scene and making that music who are passionate about it and make quality music. So I think the bubble's popped, and blame the fans because you lot got behind all these shit artists and pushed them and made labels think that it was worthy of signing them, and yeah, now we realised it wasn't. They don't want to sign anyone else, so you lot kind of fucked it up for yourselves. But hopefully the positive is, if the bubble bursts and there's no more scope for these artists to make a lot of money, then the shit people will stop making music, and then hopefully we'll have a scene that gets like built from the ground up, and we can actually start producing some quality music. And that's a way to actually build a healthy scene that doesn't necessarily need record labels.
Stop begging to get signed. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Just make your fucking music. If people like your music, they're gonna gravitate to you, and you can fucking make some shit happen.
Learn how to use the internet, man. Come on, it's 2013.
I'm sorry. Stop begging to get signed. That old model is dead. It's like motherfuckers hanging on to the last script. It's like, no.
Yeah, but man just want to make money though. That's what.
So what's the model now? YouTube, internet, but build your following online.
The model now is like your fans are direct to you. Your audience is direct to you. They can message you, they can email you, they can tweet. There's various platforms online that can make you have this communication.
But there is no taking away from the fact, that when you were signed to a major label, there was a big machine behind you, and they could,
and they were taking all your money.
It's dead, baby. It's dead. I'm not disputing that, but listen. Right, whether it's dead or not, at the end of the day, they can somehow try to get you to the bigger masses.
If you ain't Drake or Rick Ross, forget about it.
Listen.
That's what I'm saying. If you ain't Drake or Rick Ross and you're worldwide,
do we really need to go through the artists that these labels have signed, this big machine, and not managed to get them any extra
but you know what? That's not always. No, hold on 1 second. But it's not always the record labels.
I'm saying, what examples are there?
Well, you got to start naming some names now, because you can't just do that. You got to start naming some names. I want to put you on that in a minute. But what I'm saying is, is that it's not just the record labels though. It's mainstream radio too. You know, you got to blame them as well. You got to put some pressure on them, because at the end of the day, if the record label says to an artist, yeah, go on, you do what you're doing, just keep the momentum going, we'll take the music and we'll put it on the radio, they're going to send it to the radio pluggers. If they refuse to play it, then they can't get it to the bigger masses.
Look, bro, you don't even need the radio.
But I know for a fact that these radio, certain artists, certain big artists aren't getting their records playlisted. We have radio the major label backing.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though, right? We can sit there and diss the A&Rs left, right and centre, but it's also the head of musics that have got something to blame too, because those are the ones that you're going to say, look, this is the next big thing, and they're turning around and saying, nah, we don't believe it, we don't know nothing about it. So what are they to do?
So imagine you've got your bubble here, right?
and you've got all these artists within that bubble conflicting with each other. They're like atoms, they're like just crazy voltage just going mad. It's eventually gonna pop, and I feel like that time's coming now where we've got this whole choice of UK urban music artists to choose from.
This is my thing right now. Artists, whatever the fuck you're doing, in my opinion, you just have to make material or art that you think is remarkable. So people just kind of, you've got their attention, because that's to me what the currency is right now. Forget all that fucking other shit. The currency right now is people's attention. So you have to be having some shit that people know that you're the only one that can really provide that. For example, Immortal Technique. You can't do it like Immortal. He can't be replicated. So therefore he's a big fucking deal, and he can sustain himself and have a healthy living.
But what, Low-Key would have replicated?
Listen, let me tell you something.
It's not
let me tell you something about Low-Key.
It's like an extension or a branch.
Let me tell you something about Low-Key.
Because that's still independent.
You know Low-Key has sold more records in America, yeah, more albums in America than anybody else. He charted in America because he was able to like literally zone in on a specific fan base. He charted in America.
He built his tribe and he fed them. You know what I'm saying? And he provided them.
Do you think then, yeah, that model by Low-Key, do you think that needs to be replicated by artists?
Definitely.
What is that model?
It's
independent.
It's you gotta get people's
doing
attention.
Doing everything yourself.
You gotta get their fucking attention.
What you gotta remember is you can only fool people for a certain amount of time, and a majority of music that comes out on major labels is utter shit. It's disposable music that no one's gonna give a fuck about in 6 months. Yeah. If you actually look at what's going on in the States right now and look at who's actually selling records, yeah, who do you think the big stars in the States are? French Montana.
Yeah, but why do
people
care about the States?
No, but
so
I'm saying. Obviously, we model ourselves business-wise on the labels in the US. Of course we do. So if you look at it, French, 2 Chainz, these are the biggest stars. Kendrick Lamar sold 6 times the amount of records than French Montana did. Like J. Cole doubled 2 Chainz sales. So people need to actually start realizing that the artists that are selling and are actually making money and selling records are the artists who are making music with substance.
I think that goes back to my earlier point.
So making this quick music because you think labels are going to latch onto you. The label will latch onto you and make money out of you for endorsements or whatever. But they're not.
And when they're done,
the reason why people like French Montana seems to be looks like they're selling a lot, yeah, is because of the people that follow them, which are like a lot of black people. We celebrate loud, so we're screaming, shout.
That's not enough for me.
Shouting about it, yeah.
But
whereas Kendrick now is going and selling music to people across the board, innit, and making X amount of P. But what I'm trying to say to you is, yeah, back to the point. I think Tiny's gonna be alright. I'm just saying.
I mean, I haven't heard the record.
Tiny might be alright. Tiny might be right, but Tiny will be alright if he completely stops trying to get 2 Chainz on the record and thinking you're gonna break.
But he's got him on the record.
Yeah, but cool. But that's not helped your career.
Well, we don't know yet.
I don't know yet. I think Tiny will be alright. Tiny will go be a dance artist. Yeah. No, seriously, go be.
I think he's gonna be alright
with David Guetta and Swedish House Mafia, and you're gonna be alright.
But he's with Diplo right now.
Alright, so to end things off, yeah, do you think, yes or no, the bubble's burst for UK urban music in this country?
The bubble done popped. It's gone.
Look, stop trying to get signed. Just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Make some good music that you really truly believe in, and just.
I'm glad the bubble popped.
I'm glad the bubble
popped. Music might get good.
I think the bubble was small anyway. I think the bubble was really small. I think we made it a lot bigger than it was. But yeah, whatever little bubble we had.
Can I just say one last thing? One last thing. If the bubble pops, I can finally travel the world and not be embarrassed to say I'm from
What's
the UK.
Gonna happen if the bubble pops?
When people ask me about UK music, because it's so bad.
What's gonna happen if the bubble pops? 100%.
Shit rappers will stop making music.
No, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, they will. It's never gonna happen because there's shit rappers who think that they're gonna make money.
I'm the voice behind the camera. I'm there during the debates, not just on the confessionals on the stairs. And if you do want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Remember? Anyone remembers a crew from Hackney called 12 Stone?
Of course, what do you mean? And there was that tall guy. What's his name?
They were so dope.
What's the tall guy's name, bro? And he's got a look when he goes, I'm flipping like Anjo, right Manjo, Branjo, all up in a Sanjo. Alright, what do you mean about?